DeLorean. He's the DeLorean, right?
Have you figured out what's wrong with the time circuits?
Not sure. Possibly. It seems to me to be a simple wiring issue, but I'm double-checking to make sure. All the basic equipment appears to be functional.
Any chance I could borrow the DeLorean? I want to drop in on young you at the lab.
Well, I don't know. The time circuits...
Listen, I promise I won't take it to 88.
Even so, I'm worried about letting it out of my sight while it's still behaving unpredictably. Tell you what, I'll take it on a test drive 1 minute into the past. If it passes the test, I'll let you borrow it.
It worked! Didn't it?
I'm afraid not. In fact, the discrepancy appears to be getting worse. I arrived 6 hours ago.
Oh, too bad.
I didn't want to risk undoing any of the work you've done thus far, so I kept out of sight. But the time lag wasn't entirely a waste. I stopped by the hardware store and bought the parts for a chronometric analyzer.
A what?
A diagnostic device. See, I plug it into the time circuits and set them to cycle. When the green light goes off, I should have the data I'll need to understand the scope of the problem.
Hey, no driving the exhibits off the lot!
Looks like you'll have to find another set of wheels if you want to get to the lab.
Alright. Let's go get that car then.
No keys. I'll have to find my wheels somewhere else.
Huh. Yes. I need some wheels to get la la la. There's mainly a set of wheels lurking out in front of the high school. Check out the Hill Valley of the Future exhibit. Take the overhead train from the tracks and use it as a cable.
My future wouldn't be built so shoddily.
Hi, Miss Strickland. I was just...
Break what you like, Mr. Crockett. It's no skin off my nose. Just keep away from Emmett's booth. Speaking of whom, I'd better go see what's keeping him.
I'll check on him for you.
I'll go check on him for you. I was just heading there anyway.
Yeah.
No, you weren't. The last thing he needs is another distraction at the 11th hour.
But...
Tut, tut. Not another word. I've got the rest of the day all mapped out.
Miss Strickland!
I'm sorry, I don't recognize you. Heavens, you shaved off your hair, but... Carl Sagan?
I'd like a word with you, if I may.
I'm not sure it would be seemly for me to be seen in the company of an alleged arsonist.
I think it may be in your best interests. You see, I know what you're up to.
Let's go somewhere where we can talk privately.
Go. I'll keep her occupied till you get back.
Alright. Let's do this. Rawr. And stay over the blah.
I'm not sure what good a train would do there.
Now what? Take the overhead train from the tracks, use it as a skateboard. Check out the hill valley of the future. There's a familiar set of wheels lurking out in front of the high school.
Hang on, Emmett. Hope you're ready for a big breakup.
There we go.
Emmett?
Thanks again for your assistance, Detective Parker.
Detective? What the hell is Kid doing here?
Nothing criminal, I assure you. I was just getting a mind map of Mr. Tannen for our exhibition at the Expo. The authorities wouldn't allow Edna and I to stage a demonstration of the mental alignment meter with a violent felon, but this little baby is just as good. Okay, let's see, now what's next? Check the stew, sort the maps. Ooh, I almost forgot that.
Edna really is cracking the whip, isn't she?
Well, yes, but she's got my best interests at heart. Without her, I can get so distracted. Did she send you down here to check up on me?
Yeah, she wanted to come herself, but...
She's busy too, I know. Well, you're a poor substitute for Edna's lovely features, but make yourself at home.
Thanks.
No thanks are necessary. Without you, I'd never be where I am now. In love with the woman of my dreams. And a mere 6 hours from my first public triumph as a scientist. Wait a minute. 6 hours? Jumping Jehoshaphat, I'm running out of time!
Weirdo. Right! Anna seems convinced that Emmett's new invention shows him to be a model citizen. Emmett's working on his new invention in his lab. Go to Emmett's lab and ask him about his new invention. Jeez, I'm at his lab, you
Hey,
idiots.
Emmett, got a sec?
Why, yes. In fact, I've got several.
Can't believe you invented all this in 2 months.
Well, like I said, there's not really a whole lot of inventing going on here. I just dressed up a $5 potentiometer with a lot of bells and whistles.
But
Don't get me wrong, it does a remarkable job of telling whether a subject is currently liking or disliking what they're experiencing. But all the extra stuff about sorting out criminals from model citizens is mostly a bunch of hooey at this point.
Right.
what do you say we take a break for a couple of hours and go see a movie?
A couple of hours?
Actually, it may be more like 70 minutes.
I haven't got a couple of hours. I still got all these mind maps to sort, and the MAM's wiring is still giving me fits, and...
I get it, you're busy.
Alright, what do I need to do? I don't get it.
How are things between you and your father? I'm kind of surprised he hasn't torn down your lab yet.
Well, he's still angry with me and threatening to cut me out of his will, but I'm hoping that the civic potential of my mental alignment meter will win him over.
Okay.
You look busy. Why don't we talk later?
Sure thing.
Let's Emmett and ask him about his new invention.
How does the mental alignment thing work?
Here, I'll show you.
Hey,
The test subject wears this mind mapping helmet, which probes the brain by measuring fluctuations in skin conductance and electrical resistance on the surface of the parietal lobe.
uh-huh.
When I turn on the mind mapping helmet with this radio switch, the subject is exposed to a series of visual stimuli, intended to provoke a series of positive or negative responses, as indicated by these lights on the helmet.
Hey, is that...
As the responses are recorded, they're relayed to this special typewriter, which prints out a punch card that represents the subject's mind map.
All I see is a bunch of holes.
Well, to you, maybe. But to our mental alignment meter, this mind map is nothing less than a peek into your subconscious. Observe as I place your mind map into the MAM.
Layabout. Is that machine calling me a slacker?
No, your own physiological responses did.
What's this typewriter do again?
During a mental alignment test, it takes messages from the mind map helmet and turns them into punch cards, like the one for Mr. Tannen over there.
Seems complicated.
Actually, it was all rather easy to put together, once Edna gave me the idea.
Sounds to me like you should be working on harder problems then.
What? Sorry, I've got to get back to work.
Let's switch those.
If I'm gonna take Emmett's mind map, I better replace it with another one. Hey, could we watch Frankenstein on this?
Sorry, Sonny, but I need this projector to trigger positive and negative visual stimuli for my mental alignment tests. Besides, a movie like Frankenstein should really be watched on a big screen, don't you think?
The mind of a degenerate criminal.
That's Kid Tannen's mind map, as captured by our mind map helmet.
You could tell he's a criminal just by looking at this?
No, but when it's fed into the mental alignment meter...
Weird.
Weird nothing. It's science.
So this machine takes those little cards and tells you whether or not someone's a good guy or bad guy?
Kind of. Actually, the helmet does all the work. The mental alignment meter is just a glorified arcade machine.
So why not just go with the cards?
Edna says that people respond well to flashing lights and snap judgments. I can't argue with that. Every time I kiss her, I see flashing lights and lose all sense of judgment.
No kidding. What's this?
The mind map cards from the dozens of subjects I've tested during the last few weeks. I've got to get them sorted before the expo begins.
Why?
Edna's got this grand scheme to catalog all of Hill Valley citizens by their mental alignment. Isn't that cute?
Not really.
Oh, now what? Made a mind map of himself. Maybe it'll show that he's not the mollusk and he appears to be. Asking him if he's got a mind map of himself. Alright, let's do this.
Emmett?
Yeah?
Can't believe you invent. But
Don't get me with their experience.
you get back to work.
Thanks.
How do I...
If I'm gonna take Emmett's mind map, I better replace it with another one.
Do we have one? Wait. No, I don't. List of Emmett's strength.
Nah. Emmett?
Yeah?
Is all this new...
Yeah.
Mental
It's the most...
What is it?
It reads and interprets the subconscious...
I just have that. Blah.
Why would you want to probe people?
Blah.
Detective...
Your machine...
alignments and alcoholism.
And?
And...
Hold on. No, why did I do that? Stop. No, stop!
Anyway,
There.
did you make a mind map of yourself?
Of course. Take a look.
Edna's right. You are a model citizen.
At least as far as my invention's concerned. Confidentially, this whole enterprise is a little light on the hard science and a little heavy on the smoke and mirrors.
Could you tell me how this mental alignment meter works again?
Of course. Now, pay attention. Subjects put on the mind mapping helmet, which I activate with this radio switch.
Check.
The subject is then exposed to a series of visual stimuli provoking positive, negative, or indifferent reactions that are recorded by the mind map printer.
Right.
Once a mind map is completed, it can be inserted into the mental alignment meter.